I'm your host, Garrett. And this is my son, Jack. And we decided that I'm entertaining enough to create a podcast that all 32 people out there have seen. But you need to subscribe and keep following because we're putting one out a week and we're losing you. Well, I think the political and the Christian right video might be a problem. That might have killed half our eight subscribers. Oh no, we have 5. So 3 of them left the channel.
Yeah.
Yeah, what kind of bullshit is this? We'll stick to other fun entertainment stuff. How's that?
Pussy. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, I get it. Yeah, I guess. You know, you kind of lose people, but what can you say?
Can't say much.
No. Yeah, so do you believe America should be a Christian country?
Oh, God. All right. On a better day. All right. So we'll start this. We'll start this one off. So, you have been truncated. What does that mean?
What?
It says I'm being truncated.
Yeah. Beats me. Beats me.
Okay. So what are we talking about? We are talking about. Somebody asked me the other day, what's the most? So there's always the questions, except for when you live in Georgia, because nobody really gives a shit that you're a fireman. I could say that I'm a rocket scientist or I've been to the moon, and people are like, whatever. It's just not that thing. So being a fireman from California, people, when you meet them new and you go, yeah, I'm a fireman or I'm retired or whatever, they go, oh my God. And then they're interested. Out here, no.
They don't care.
But every once in a while, somebody asks me something. So one of the questions that's been asked was, and I don't know who asked me, so it doesn't really matter. No one's watching this anyway, so.
Dad, it's okay. It's not about that, Dad. It's about having a video legacy of our conversations for eternal amounts of time. Think about it. We're literally the first humans.
Your headset sounds terrible.
Yeah, it's because I'm low qual. Wait, it's because I'm low. Whatchamacallit? Low volume. Input device. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Just gonna have to be terrible for now. But think about it. You'll have literally a legacy forever. Test. Yep. That sounds terrible. Hello. Yep. Oh yeah, you're right. Terrible.
What was the scariest time I ever was in the fire department? Like ever. I go with the fact of there had been multiple times. I would say almost every time. But part of it is you don't have time to be scared. You get scared afterwards or you get scared right before it. So the hardest part for me had always been going through the front door. Like getting, it's always dark. It's, a few occasional fires, you walk through the front door and it's like, what the fuck? You can see it, but going through that door and going into that environment, you're like, it takes a second. Like for me, I would go to the door and it wasn't a full on, it probably helped me a lot more to kind of process what's going on because I would go to the stairs and I'd be like, okay, I got to calm down. 1, I got to slow down. 2, I got to fucking decide if I'm actually doing this. And, 9 out of 10 times I'm like, I ain't fucking go, this one. 9 out of 10. So one of them I didn't. You can choose which one. And you go in and then you have this job and you're kind of like, all right, we'll go. We're doing this. And then it's chaos. But you're like, this is my job. And you're doing it. Or you got a task, really. It's not really, your job is all kinds of crazy shit. But going through the door was the hardest. Doing the ladders, climbing over ladders, and, as contrary to belief, and I'm going to say it right now, this one's going to kick me. I'm afraid of heights.
Are you really?
Uh-huh.
I guess that kind of
Yep.
makes sense.
Yeah, and it's not. I don't like them. Like I didn't like climbing ladders. I didn't like being on roofs. I didn't like anything to do with that part of the truck world. And that's what 90% of what you did was climb on a
Climb
roof, cut a
things.
hole. Like I hated that part of the job. And I know people are like, what? Like, what the fuck? I liked, for me, being inside, being very mobile, kind of seeing what's going on, pulling ceilings, search and rescue inside the building. Didn't like being on roofs. And I went, like, it's not a, some people don't, refuse, like, I'm not going on the roof or whatever. I I have to make conscious choice. Like, I have to go up. Like, you had no choice, like, here you go.
No turning back, huh?
No. And then you got up there and you did your work, and it was always, on the roof. It's like, I put it this way.
Mm-hmm.
Every roof that I ever was on, I think I was on a roof twice in my career. And I might be wrong, but like actually doing work, most of my fires were at night, and it either had rained or it was foggy.
That's
So
eerie.
it was not like, the couple day fires I had when I was up there helping out or cutting holes or doing things like that. It was like, I was so glad that it was during the day, because they were pitch roofs like this, and you're fucking hanging on. Like, I'm like, how do you do this at night? And there's guys that were like Joe Barbero and Mike Wong and these older guys that they were just fucking so good on the roof. Like, they just were super calm, could run around and do this like cat like thing. Me, I'm like
Not a cat.
holding on, looking around, going, okay, when are we getting off this? Like, cutting a hole, punching in, and then I'm like, all right, I'm off the roof, like,
Yeah.
I hated it, and that's out there in America. You've heard this.
That's
But
funny
the
though.
most scared I'd ever been, I think, was, I think it had to be being like inside. We were inside a fire. And did we talk about Cap Street, or is that the
Mm-hmm.
one that got banned?
No, we
We did
talked
talk
about
about
that.
Cap.
Yeah.
I think that was the scariest one that I'd ever been to, where it was like, it, it changed you on how you saw things, because things happen so fast you don't understand them, and then afterwards you process, you talk to people, you go home to the firehouse, you talk about all these things.
Mm-hmm.
And it's hard to be afraid and to kind of put, what I think what helped me most of the time is I didn't try and make sense of any of it, like, until afterwards.
Mm-hmm.
And I think with the, compartmentalizing and, smashing your feelings down and doing all these things, I just got good at it.
Yeah.
And it was like, it was hard to, I always hated the guys taking pictures out in front of the fire.
Mm-hmm.
There are two that I took, and both of them were the reasons why we took those fires. Was not no one was an abandoned building, and the fucking entire house was gone. I mean, like, no saving this fire. we rolled up, and it was during the day. I was on the engine. We rolled up, and it was an old, probably built in the early 1900s, maybe in late 1800s house. Nothing, had a yard around it. There was no exposure building, no. And we go to make a run for the front door. We're the first engine there, and we go to run the front door, and it is rolling. And we go up the stairs, we kick open the front door, and it is like the gates of hell they talk about. It was unbelievable. Like, everything was fire, and we couldn't progress at all. Like, there was no moving forward. it was like, what, like, holy shit, this thing is going. Turned out to be arson. Um, and we had backed out, and the electrical lines, the power lines coming in, come off the power pole and go to what they call gooseneck in the house. And the power lines had snapped and fell right where we were standing. And if it wasn't for where the engine was, we would have both been hit by the power lines. I mean, and probably not have done very well.
Yeah,
You're talking
yeah,
about
obviously.
major power lines. And so, but then after the fire, it was like we were just dumping water on it. Everybody's dumping water on it. And I'm watching this thing, and the lower floors just collapse. I mean, just 2-story, you know, not a very big house, but not small.
Hmm.
And it collapsed, and the roof came down as one whole piece. And all I remember was the tub, the bathtub in the upstairs clawfoot tub in the bathroom poked through the roof because the roof had caved down and the tub couldn't crush, and it went right through. And I was like, holy shit, we just lost an entire fucking house. Like, it was
Jesus.
abandoned, and it was like,
Still surreal
but then
though.
it was just, yeah, it was pretty funny that afterwards when we were overhauling, everybody's like, because the fire's still burning underneath all this crap, and we're
Hmm.
like on a roof on the ground, like 4 feet off the ground, cutting holes in the roof, trying to get into the building to put more water. And we took a picture out front of that because it was pretty.
It just
I'd
smushed
never seen
down.
that before. Yeah.
That's crazy.
Then the other one that we did, we took a picture. He was actually a really good friend of mine, and then turned into a fucking jackass. We took a picture of him and me because it was a it was a crack house that we went to, and it was his last job, last day in the firehouse. He was promoted shortly afterwards, and we had worked together for like 2 years, and so we took a picture last week. I still have it somewhere hanging on the wall.
Why do you think
um,
he's an asshole, huh? He was mean to you?
no, it was when you work with me as a fireman, and then you become a boss, and then you go, we're not doing that anymore. That didn't make sense to me. And
Ah.
he was untrustworthy of me, which I'm like, wait a second, I drove you for 3 years, and then you come back as a boss, and you're like, you're not doing this right, and it's like, the fuck are you doing? Yeah, and
Yeah,
he
that's
became a major problem. He also came back as a captain after he became a lieutenant, and didn't learn anything as a lieutenant, and yeah, like we had been on trips together on the house trips, and even to this day, I won't talk to him ever.
aw.
Like nothing. I feel that I think he learned later on how to be a better person and a better boss, and how to be understanding of certain things. But for what he did, nah, fuck him. You know, you made my life miserable. He was the reason why I left 12 for uh
Aw.
2 years. Well, 2 years, maybe three. I tried to get back, and they blocked me by accident. Thanks, OJ. Um, so yeah,
Poor OJ.
that was that. Um, what else I got going on?
Do you think you would still I describe it as it's almost like peer pressure. Like, do you think if you were just like on your own, you would go into those fire? You know, and I mean that like in a pretty irrational way. Like, you know, it's like getting up for work, right? Like you just do it instantly. But if it's like you got to get up for the gym, like you might slack a little bit, or you know, do you understand what I'm trying to like point out?
Yeah,
Like I wonder what that feeling is, like, or what that is. Is it? Do you think it's just like perception of others, or just like this is a significant, like, you know, I don't know. What do you
I
think
mean,
that is?
I, I don't know. I never understood I never understood. Like I was very. Let me put it this way. Oh, what happened to my computer? Oh, there we go. It was all kind of like everything flashed for a second.
Oh yeah, graphics cards. Yeah.
Personally, I think I stayed true to myself.
Mm-hmm.
From when I found myself, like when I understood what my role in the fire department was, and this is what I'm gonna be, and this is what I did.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I stood to that, and I like to teach people what I learned and try and use them in practical things. Um,
So you were
how
like
other people,
excited to go and do that.
yeah. I mean, there were days that dragged on,
Of
like,
course,
oh
yeah.
fuck, like I don't want to. But 90% of what went on in the firehouse is who you worked with.
Yeah, yeah, of course.
I was super excited to go to work, with the guys I worked with because they
Mm-hmm.
were just the every day was an adventure.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
did something to didn't matter what happened or what was going on. And I mean, if you think about it, in 2019, when was COVID?
To,
2018?
yeah, 2020.
No, 2020 to 2022. I worked almost 12 days a month, 12 to 15 days a month. I worked
Mm-hmm.
over half, maybe even more than that, maybe 20 days a
Is that a
month
lot or
for
I
two
don't know
years.
standards. Yeah, that's a lot or
Well, so typically we're 48 hours a week is what we work, 48.5. So 2 days, one day on, 2 days off. That's normal routine. So it comes out to about 9 days a month,
oh,
sometimes 10. So I was doubling my time at the firehouse during COVID and everything like that. And then the wildlands I mean, I went away for 31 days.
yeah.
I came home for half a day. And it was like, they, again, I was a driver. We got the call. There was a fire that was sparked off up north, Lake Shasta. And the chief had called and he said, I need you to go because we don't have a driver. And I'm like, I said, I just got back. Like, I don't want to go again. And the fire that we went to was just, it was bullshit. Like, we didn't do anything. And I get it, we're supporting something, so
Mm,
I'm not gonna talk shit about it. But we
yeah.
didn't do what I wanted to do. And he goes, you're the only one that can do this, and you're the only one available. You gotta go. And I was like, fuck it. So I got home, showered, packed, and
I
went
remember
back
that.
at
Yeah.
2 a.m. Yeah. And then I was gone for 2 more weeks. But I got to pick my crew. I got to pick my boss. I got to pick my medic. So we had a great time. But then it was at the end of it, it was like, I mean, we were in fucking Oregon.
Yeah.
Like, we're in goddamn Oregon. Like,
Yeah, it's pretty
I
crazy,
mean, I'm all
honestly.
for mutual aid, but when you start leaving the state, like,
No wonder we're
okay, like,
California.
yeah,
Oh
I'm like,
man.
holy shit.
That's pretty funny though. I mean, I feel like Cal Fire really like does all the fires, right? I mean,
Well, it depends on the land. It comes into like this Cal Fire. So when you and some Cal Fire guys gonna, but okay. From my understanding is this.
yeah.
So I might be wrong, and if one of you out there, the 35 people watching this,
No chance.
no. If you are a city like Napa or a county like Napa,
Hmm.
fire comes in, you deplete your resources in a matter of minutes. You no longer have a fire engine that can cover the city and what's going on
Hmm.
out there. So Cal Fire comes in, you make the request through channels, and there's a way they do it, and then they go, okay, we're taking over. And the bonus round of it from the state is the city no longer has to pay any money for firefighting. It's all covered by the state. So a city of like Napa, where in 2017, every fireman in, 5 neighborhood counties was there.
Yeah.
you know, or the 7 counties were there, and it's like somebody's got to pay them, you know, and if it came out of Napa, it would bankrupt them.
Yeah.
There's just no way. They couldn't afford it. They couldn't afford it. So Cal Fire stays, picks up the tab, pays all the firemen, does the resources, and then once they take control, you work for Cal Fire. And if Cal Fire looks at their books and they go, I'm running out of resources, then they request other resources out there. And that's when everybody goes. And you get a resource number. You get 24 hours or 12 hours to respond, depending on where it is. Immediate need is different.
Yeah.
That's we
Hurricanes
did that
and stuff, or
no, that's also FEMA. So federal.
Oh yeah,
I'll
you're
get
right.
into federal. But immediate need is like the Oakland Hills fire.
Okay.
We sent crews over there, and it's sort of like we're coming to help. Nobody gives a shit who's paying for it. It's on duty people. We'll stay for 24 hours to help you. And then at that point, you need to do something else to cover what's going on.
Gotcha.
San Francisco does not accept mutual aid. We never have. Actually, I take that back. Tony and Vinny's funeral, we did accept mutual aid. They covered in the firehouses during one of the funerals. Our first line of duty death. Minnie Earler was, in my career, Minnie Earler was the first.
Is that the Batman shirt?
Yeah.
Yeah, I have that one. It's all torn up though. I'm pissed.
Oh, I can get you another one.
Please, I would love one of those. This is my favorite shirt of all time.
I'll send you a link and you can order.
Please, yeah, I'll definitely get someone. I love that shirt. Yeah.
So they came in and it was pretty funny. I picked up a trade for one of the guys at the firehouse so that he could go to Tony and Vinny's funeral.
Yeah.
And I was on the truck. No, I was the boss. No, so I didn't call and say I didn't go to the funeral. But we were close enough that we went to the funeral. You know, we saw the procession, and you're talking about, I think there was 155 fire trucks that were there. I mean, it was fucking insane.
Christ.
And it was the first time we had this sort of thing happen. They were both killed in a fire.
Yeah. People know.
And I knew them both. I knew Tony very well. Vinny, I knew not super well. I worked with them a bunch. They were both great people, great individuals, great firemen, and it just fucking sucks.
Yeah.
But we ended up, so the chief sent out a thing, brought all these fire trucks from Alameda, Oakland, and they came in to staff the firehouses so the fire trucks and everybody who was on duty could go if they wanted to.
Oh, that's so cool. That's very cool.
And we ended up catching a fire out in the avenues with these guys.
Oh man.
And so they had to the logistics part of this is pretty funny. One, they don't know any of the streets. Like zero.
I bet.
So you had to have a chief at the house where they were at, so he would take them where they were going. But you also, all the fittings, like to hook up to our fire engine is different than their fire engine.
Oh, like the hose
attachments
or...
is different. So the BOE, Bureau of Equipment, had to go around and give them fittings to hold on just in case they got a fire. And we got this fire, and it was out in the sunset, and it was just outside of the house, got into the attic, and we had a fucking great time with them. And they were like,
it was probably a fever dream.
They were from like
them,
Reading or something. Huh?
Yeah, I bet it was a fever dream if you're from Reading, you know, and you're in the city doing a fire.
They were just like, San Francisco is their cowboys, you know, the Chiefs try and control us, and it's, you know, hey, I need this. But it really comes down to it's a shit ton of freelancing guys running around doing what they're doing, the good ones, and putting the fire out. And it's like, what is it? 1% of the fire department does all the work, and the rest are all doing whatever they do. And these guys came in with us, and we were like, we pull up in the truck, and they're on the engine, and they're waiting for orders. Like they're legitimately waiting for the chief to tell them in there. And we grab their ready lines, and we're like, follow us. And they were like, oh shit, we're going, like they're used to little departments
Yeah,
where,
yeah,
everything gets set up and it's like, no, fuck this, let's go. And we had knocked out the fire like pretty quick. It
yeah.
was nothing, and pulled ceilings, and they were just like, this is fucking great.
Yeah, yeah, I can imagine. That's fun. That's fun as shit.
Yeah, so they were good, and they were, yeah, I always appreciated them. Some people got a little on it about having them in the firehouses because we don't ask for help. I was proud of them, of the department, to actually come out and go, hey, we're
Thank you for your
sending
help.
everyone to this
Yeah.
funeral, and we need help and to staff this. And it was I guarantee it was a logistical nightmare on how to do it. Where do you put
Oh
them? What do
yeah.
you do? So
Must have been fun though, a little field trip for everyone.
yeah. Uh-oh.
Hmm.
I guess we're going to the Braves game on Sunday. All right.
Oh. Yeah, how's Goopy in his D1 venture?
He had his practice yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
And we were sitting under the shades hot here.
Yeah.
So we're sitting under the shade at the ball field. So we didn't see what they were doing. They were over on the bullpen.
Mm-hmm.
So we couldn't see him. We didn't know what he was working at. And then Sam brought him over to what do you call it? Brought him over the pitching's mound.
Mm-hmm.
And I forgot my glove. And I'm like, I'll just borrow yours. And he's like, can you catch left-handed? I'm like, shit, I can't, because he's left-handed. So he's like, I'll just catch him. And he sat behind the plate, and Coop threw 12 pitches. And the first one he threw, both Katie and I looked at each other and we're like, oh shit. Like, you heard the snap of it hitting the glove.
Yeah.
And he looked comfortable. He's not perfect, but he's 10 and he's been pitching for 3 weeks. So I'm like, okay, good.
Hey,
do we have aspirations of him?
You see those Japanese kids, all right? By 12 years old, they're throwing 90 miles an hour, all right? So
well,
I'm ready.
I mean,
I'm
his
waiting.
his size and love of baseball will be the telltale of this one. I mean, shit, he's gonna be. Well, he was 4 inches taller than you at 10.
Yeah, I remember that. Rob, son, forgot about that.
Yeah, so now you're talking about 6'7".
Yeah.
6'7". I don't know, but it's all about him. It's what he wants. I'm pushing him a little bit here and there. You got to go to practice. You got to do this, but he still loves playing baseball. So
yeah.
I'm like, okay.
I mean,
cool.
Yeah, you're not always gonna love it. That's just how it is. So just keep pushing
exactly.
him.
No, it's just like, here you go. Get up, go to baseball practice, get a hit.
Get pal.
So yeah. So what else? What else we got? Okay, so being scared, you just don't have time to be scared. Really?
Yeah.
You are scared. Don't get me wrong.
I feel like
you're totally scared.
I feel like it never goes away. There's a great. I know you don't really like the podcast so much, but there's a great podcast. Jensen Huang, you know that guy? Mm-hmm. He's the CEO of NVIDIA.
Okay.
And his whole conversation, a lot of people thought he was motivated by success and the company doing well and all that. And he said his greatest motivator was literally every single day he wakes up with a knot in his stomach because he's so afraid that the company's going to fail or do something wrong. And that fear motivates him significantly more than the greed of success and all that, which is so interesting.
Yeah, I would doubt it. I mean, failure is a great motivator.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
But you have to have failed at some point to know that I don't want to fail again.
Yeah.
I think if you've never failed, it's like, I don't know.
Well, you have to fail really, really hard. That's always a tricky thing to do.
Well, everybody has at some point.
That's true.
I mean, if you think about where your sister is right now.
Oh yeah.
And how sophomore year of high school, they were like, we were in a meeting and they're like, she's not even going to graduate high school, and she not only graduated high school, which I was there, Then she goes, I'm not going to school. I'm done with school. I'm going to take a year off.
Yep.
I went, shit. I'm like, that's a kiss of death right there. She took what, 7 months off?
Yeah, and then she went
And
back to
goes,
school.
calls me and goes, I have no plans, no ambition.
Yep.
I'm going to school and I'm done. And now she's going to Humboldt in August.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, where's my, let me see, where's my clapping hand?
Shout out Tatum. Yeah, so
yeah,
you know what's so interesting, and I use Tatum as an analogy, although she is smart, I'll give her that. It's so interesting how you have like a traditional precursor of things that like significantly was terrible for her life. Like, and I mean, sorry Tatum for putting your story out there, but literally it's like go to therapy, take antidepressants, and talk about your problems every single day. Right? And that's like the recipe for disaster. And then all of a sudden, you know, whatever, a year, 2 years later, it's like significantly her. I
there's
know
so much to that. It would, you're
I
simply,
know, I
don't
know,
even,
I know. I'm not
there
gonna
was so
dive
much
into it.
more
Yeah,
to
yeah, yeah,
that.
yeah. But that's just on
just
the.
be proud of her.
No, that's
of
what I'm
where
saying, and I'm
she's-
saying I'm
yeah.
very proud that like, you know, she's a normal functioning human, although retarded. I mean, she still is fantastic. I mean, much better than.
Oh, she's doing just fine, Jack.
No, I know. I'm just
just talked
saying.
to her yesterday.
I know you did that. I talked to her too. All right. I'm just saying, like, I'm just happy. You know,
Yeah.
All I'm trying to say is like it's just interesting the traditional ways. I mean, she just took a different route. Like,
looks like I have dirty laundry back here.
what is that? Your GED? Nah, just kidding.
It's an actual map of the world.
Oh, that's cool.
But it looks like laundry.
Well, it's flat right now. Where's your soundboard there? Yeah, thank you. Yeah, but yeah, you're missing that. Yeah.
Yeah. So, all right. What else we got? So Tatum's good. You're good. What else we got going on? What other story have we got? Anyone? No one's ever put in a question.
No, I mean we also haven't done a live stream either. That would be fun.
No.
We can go live on YouTube, but
we gotta get Brian on here, but they're very concerned about
how we believe that America should be a Christian white nationalist country. Anyways, sorry.
So moving forward, no. The big one is they're concerned because they still work for the fire department. You can't really put you got to keep the spin on it.
Yeah.
Words.
Well,
you know.
Lucky for us now, I mean, it's pretty much impossible to get in trouble with anything relatively on the internet. I mean, you literally could just say AI generated.
It's not me, it's someone else.
No, I'm being serious. You literally just say AI generated and you're getting out of it all. I mean,
but no, he could get in trouble for social media.
No, yeah, I gotcha.
I don't think mine is I think he would be more inclined to come back and talk about Station 12 days and you know the craziousness. Like I mean, I got one. I was thinking about this the other day because I was like, you know, the 5 questions everybody asks. You know, it's okay. First one, what's the grossest thing you've ever seen? I would go, I've seen over 100 homeless people's penises. I would say it might even be more than that. To be honest, I've seen more homeless dick in my lifetime than I ever want to admit.
That's hilarious. Any big showers out there? Anyone who you're like, damn, what are you doing homeless?
Fuck. That was my big joke. That was a joke in the firehouse. There's quite a few of them. The big one is whenever the lottery would get above, like, you know, $100 million and we'd all buy in.
Yeah.
If we win, we're going to just take the truck to go to Mexico. And I was like, fuck that. You know what I'm doing? I'm going to go out and I'm going to buy 1,000 belts, and I'm gonna hand them to the homeless people so their fucking pants don't come down. Because it's like, what the fuck, dude? Whoa, wow. I get it, you're homeless, but put a fucking belt on. Like, just keep a suspender or something. I don't want to see
Roll
it
the pants
anymore.
up a little bit.
Something. God, it's so great. Then none of them have underwear on either, dude. That's no. It's like, oh fuck. But I guess if you're homeless, what do you need underwear for?
Yeah. You already used it
So
up.
that's a big one. And then the other one, what's the saddest thing you ever saw?
Mm,
That's always, it's the kid calls, and we've
yeah.
got hundreds of those that still sit in the back of my head.
Yeah. Next on that one, heesh.
Yeah. Was it the hottest fire I ever went to?
Mm.
And that was with Brian and I. I mean, there's been a couple, but the one that I remember, the funniest one, we roll up. It was middle of the day. Rolled up on the truck. Brian's sitting behind me because I forget why he was on the truck. He kept getting moved over to the truck, so he's on the truck, and he hates trucks, but he's really good at it. Like he loved driving the engine. But okay, so we pull up, and it's blowing out of the front of the house, like fully just orange flames, no smoke, and we're like, whoa, this is fucking crazy. And he goes to get out of the truck, and he's like, holy fuck. And he slams the door, and he climbs over the seat to get out the other side. And I'm like, what the fuck? And I open the door, and immediately I've got blistering on the side of my face.
Jesus.
From this. And I'm like, because we had the windows up.
Yeah.
Partially. So you didn't feel it until you got out. And I was like, holy fuck. And so the bonus round of it is, and this is how fucking dumb I am and my stupidity. This was the days when I didn't wear boots.
Wait, what?
I wasn't wearing pants or boots at this point in my career. So I was driving in flip-flops and shorts. Yep.
That's hilarious.
So, and there's a long story to that. I could get in that today. Do we have enough time? We do.
Of course we do.
So I had my turnout boots sitting on the back of the wheel well, sitting back there. So I had to get out of the rig half naked, burning myself, like going, oh shit, putting my pants on. I finally got them on. It was a fucking shit show. And I'm like, all right, maybe now I will. Okay. So I went 2.5 years not wearing pants in the firehouse.
And when was this? What's the date and time?
This was pre-COVID.
Okay.
So here's the long story short. I was asked to leave 12 for my behavioral stuff. The captains asked me to leave. They said either we can bring you up on charges or you could leave. And I was like, can I survive these charges? That was the question in my head. Can I survive these charges? And I really legitimately kind of weighed out the odds, but I wasn't really happy. I was kind of stagnant there.
Yeah. That's when you went to 4, right?
And then I went to 4.
Yeah,
it was
I remember
a brand new firehouse. And I was like, they built it right next to the Pac Bell Park. And I was like, I'm going there because it's new shit. Now, you got to remember when I came into the fire department, San Francisco Fire Department, and my turnouts that they gave me were used hand-me-down turnouts. Like, they'd already been to 40,000 fires.
Yeah.
And then it was then after a year and a half, then you got one set and you got a pair of boots. Like, you didn't get, now they got 2 sets and they got these bags and all this shit. We didn't get any of that fucking shit. But we also used to wear wool pants into a fire. So you never wore bunker gear on the bottom of your, on your legs. For first 2 years in the department, I never, I never put on bunker gear ever. So I go to 4. It is more fun than you can ever imagine, but we never went anywhere. They were building down there. There was nothing going on. I mean, no fires. No.
Super boring. I remember you saying
just boring. And it was like, I was just I cannot be left alone with nothing to do. It's just bad. I got in trouble. I got in trouble from so the chief shows up, who's a friend of mine, and Mike shows up and he leaves his buggy, the chief's car, out front, and he leaves it running, and that bothers me. You know, I don't know why it bothers me, but it, like turn it off. Like, what the fuck are you doing? He just
Yeah.
leaves it running there, and he's
Unlocked
inside,
too.
and he's going through the mail. He's on the phone. I'm like, you know, fuck you. And so I told him, I said, you know, if you leave it running again in the app bay like you do, someone's gonna steal it, and I'm gonna tell him it's okay. And he's like, fuck you, whatever. So and this whole house is all new kids because they can make the house. So I'm like, there's like 3, 4 of us that had more than 18 years in or whatever. You know, everybody else had like a year and a half in, 2 years. So it was insane with people like me who knew how to push the line. You know, like, so I run downstairs in my flip flops, shorts, white t-shirt.
Yep.
Jump into his car and fucking and there's the parking lot of Pac Bell Park out there, you know, and no baseball game going on. And I am trying to break the tires loose to get it to do donuts. And I'm just got the lights going, flashing, and I'm like, just fuck, you just hear the edges just what? I'm like trying to get it to go, and it's 4-wheel drive, so it's not really
doing
easy
circles,
to do.
yeah.
Doing circles. And so finally I come back and he's like, he goes, what the fuck? And I'm like, what? And he goes, that's not how you drive this car. So he gets in it. He goes out there and he's doing donuts. Okay. Then it comes out that the chief, the police chief, Greg Sir, who I loved, calls our chief.
Oh yeah, because they're right next door to you, huh?
A chief buggy
Oh.
is racing it around there, and she's like, hold on. She calls, and now it's like I'm in trouble again. I'm like, I didn't do anything. Middle of the day, dude.
Yeah.
So then I left 4. I tried to go back to 12. So I spent a year at 12 or 4. Then I was going to go back to 12. But I was hemming and hawing about the whole thing. Do I go back? I'm not real happy with the captains.
Yeah.
You know, everybody's like, you got to come back and this whole thing. So, we bid on spots by seniority. So each spot, like driver's a spot, firefighter or EMT. So you can move around and you go by seniority. And once you have your spot, you have it forever. And, so I get a call from a friend of mine and he's a boss and he goes, I got really young kids. I want you to come to the house and drive me. And I was like, what? And he goes, you'll make the spot, no problem. And I was like, oh. And I really liked working with him. I thought he was great. And I kind of hemmed him off. So I put 12 in my first bid. And then I didn't get it because they blocked me out by accident and on purpose.
They tell you
so I ended
back.
up going to 38 as a driver at 38. So I got there and it's not what I thought it was going to be. You know, I'm driving an engine, which I'm okay at, you know, like if I can get water, I can pump, I can do whatever you want to do. But I don't think it's not my forte. I'm not great at it, but I can do what you need to get done.
Yeah.
And I can also drive code 3 and not hit things. That's the big one. Yeah. So I got all these young kids there and there's chiefs there and it's just uncomfortable, the house. Like I just didn't like it. It wasn't, you know, like I felt like I was on display the whole time and I'm like, So I had bid out. I made 12 again after a year driving a 38. And I was, one of the houses was getting shut down and remodeled. And so 38 used to have there used to be like 14 or 15 people at the house. Now there's 5, you know, so it's a giant house. I mean, there's everybody gets their own rooms. Like, it's just big giant house. Lockers. Everybody had 2 lockers. This whole thing. So I'm leaving the house, and it's like October, and I'm leaving in January or something. So I'm like, whatever. And I got a call from the captain, who I was not a fan of at all. And he goes, I need you to take your stuff out of one of the lockers, and and I need you to do it. And I'm like, all right. I said, I'll come in tomorrow. And he goes, well, I'll do it for you. And I'm like, no, don't touch my shit. Don't touch my shit. I've got stuff in there that I've been collecting for a long time. Don't touch anything. I'll be in tomorrow. So I come in the next day, and he has moved my shit. And I'm missing. I have 2. So they're Red Wing boots. They're station boots that you wear. And this is how the story comes in. Long story of why I didn't wear boots anymore. They're super comfy. They're great to drive in.
Mm-hmm.
They're not waterproof, but they're steel toe, and they're just low profile. They're great to drive in. That was my whole thing. So I had 2 sets because of the clothing person gave me 2 sets because she was retiring, and she's like, I want you to have these because I don't know if you're gonna be able to get them. Now I've got 1 box up there on my locker, and there's 2 right feet in there. Not 1 set of boots, 2 right feet. So they lost 2 boots. And I'm like, all right, where the fuck are my boots? Like, somebody's playing a game, and nobody had a clue. So I go to the captain. I'm like, where the fuck are my boots? And he goes, I don't know what you're talking about. And I'm like, you moved my shit. Where's the thing? So I put in a request for new boots because I can't wear these boots. And they give me these fucking ghetto ass hand me down shoes that they were like Kmart special, like it had the fucking Nike symbol on it, but it was upside down, the whole thing.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I can't wear these. They fucking hurt my feet. I'm not wearing these. Well, you have to. You're not getting Red Wings. And I'm all, why not? Because, well, you got Red Wings last year. And I'm like, well, they're gone. So I wrote up this general form, which is like a request that goes through channels, and basically threw my captain under the bus. Said that he had gone into my locker illegally, which is a legal search, had lost a pair of my boots, and I'm requesting this. That got kicked back so quick, like it didn't even get to the chief's desk before they were like, so they moved me out of 38 early. They're like, you're gone. So I go to 12. I got no boots.
Aw.
So the captain's like, where's your, so I'm in full uniform and flip-flops. And he's like, where's your boots? And I'm like, I don't have a pair of boots. And he goes, what do you mean? And I'm like, here's the letter, denied boots. Like, and he's like, okay, well, I'll get you a pair of boots. And so he calls, and they're just, nope, not getting a pair of boots. I'm like, fuck you. So I'm calling every favor in to get a pair of boots to get it done. I'm like, screw this. So now I'm mad, and I'm like, fuck you. I'm not wearing boots or pants. So I stopped and refused. And that was the end of it. Like, no
That's
one was
hilarious.
Like, they're just like, oh my God, he just stopped wearing boots. Like, okay, like.
Driving in the fire, dude, flip-flops and shorts, man. What a sight to see.
And it was like, it was full on, like captain, like detailed bosses come in, and they're like, hey, I want everybody dressed in uniform. And I'd walk down in a fucking dirty white t-shirt, a pair of shorts, and flip-flops, get a cup of coffee with a cigarette in my hand. And they would be like, are you going to put on a uniform today? And I'm like, nope. And they're like, well, you have to. And I'm like, no, I don't. I'm not in public view. I don't have to do fucking shit.
That's hilarious.
So that went on for 2 years. And just for those people that don't know, I wore boots to a fire. You wear bunker gear and you have boots in those. I'm not running to a fire with it, but I drove everywhere in flip-flops and then put on the boots and the pants. So new chief comes in. So we got rid of the old chief. New chief comes in, and Neen comes in, and I had worked with Neen maybe in 2003 for a year on the ambulance. She was my partner on the ambulance. And then I met her. I knew her well enough, like she was great. And I made her soup. She had cancer, and I made soup for her. I used to use that all the time when I got in trouble. And I'm like, I made you soup when you had cancer. So she's going around every firehouse to talk to the fire people and do this whole thing. And everybody's like, the chief's department's coming in. And I'm like, whatever, it's neat. She's in my phone. Her contact on my phone is Grandma Lesbo. So I had that kind of relationship with her. So she's coming in and the captain's like, you got to get dressed. And I'm like, no. And they're all, it's a sign of respect. And I'm like, all right, you're right. I'll get dressed. So I come downstairs, shirt tucked in, badge, name tag, whole thing, pants, flip-flops. And Neen shows up and she parks her car. I still remember this. She parks her car in front of the app bay, which is a no-no to firemen. You don't block a fire ring.
Yeah.
And I walk out there and there's like probies, like full saluting, they got cap and tie, and I'm in flip-flops and fucking shirt. And I'm like, I go, hey. And she looks over and I'm like, don't put your fucking car there. And she looks at me and she goes, did you not realize I was chief of the department? And I go, still, I'm going to fucking run your car over if we got to run. And she's like, yeah, you're right. I'll move it. And so she moves it back. And she goes, I love you. And you're such an asshole. And I'm like, oh, and then she looks down and she goes, where are your fucking shoes? And I'm like, long story. And she goes, no, what do you want? And I'm all, I need a pair of boots. I want a pair of Red Wings in 11s. And she goes, done. So she writes out a request form for this.
Mm-hmm.
She goes, bring it to the clothing depot and get 2 pairs of Red Wings 811.
Oh, man.
So the next morning I go down there and I've got boots. And then it was from there. And they're still here. I have them, I wear them every once in a while.
That's the best. That's a good story, Pops. I like that one a good bit. That was pretty funny. Grandma Lesbo.
It comes down to the point of I think about all the shit that I did. And we're not talking about like the little stuff. I mean, I was like a big child. Like, you want to fuck with me? I'm fully in the mood to push this as far as I can. And I did. And it was like, you talk to Thompson about this and he goes, he's for anyone out there doesn't know who he is, because he'll be mad if you don't know who he is. He's one of my really good friends. He's chief. He's also very, very smart. He's probably one of the smartest people that I know, other than Sean Visser. But he knew how to keep me out of trouble. So he did this thing. He was teaching all the lieutenants were going to take captain's test, and they had to work on their disciplinary and HR, like, how do you deal with this if this person does this? Mm-hmm. And he had wrote out like 8 things that I had done in my career and had used those as examples of like how to study. And they were fucking great because it's like, it's progressive. You give them a warning and then you give him this and then you do this. And it's like, all of them ended up where they're like, I would warn him that he couldn't do this. And then Thompson would come back and he goes, he's your best fireman in the house. So you're going to get rid of him? Well, what do you do?
That's
and then
funny.
It's like, and then they're like, well, I make him cook every day. And he already fucking cooks every day.
Yeah.
So how do you fucking get around this? And it's like, I think only one of them out of like 20 got it right. And it's basically, you just ignore it and you go on, like that's the answer. You ain't going to win. I'm going to beat you at every fold. So that's it.
Like father like son, or like son like father, they say, whatever it is. That's hilarious.
Well,
Do you have
your grandfather was pretty, from what I understand, and they're all passing away now. From what I understand, he was pretty nasty when it came down to when he wanted to.
Oh, really?
It was, he was, when they said more than once, he was brutal.
I could imagine that. Yeah, I could imagine.
Yeah, and you're like, I mean, I've seen him, he gets
of course. Yeah.
You see that, and it's like,
That switch. Yeah.
But the stories I heard were basically he would go after someone and pummel them basically verbally for an hour and just keep going. And you're like, whoa, he's the nicest guy in the world until you pissed him off.
Yeah.
And then it was like, there you go.
That's hilarious. Poor guy. Whoever got pummeled. What was your best prank ever that you ever did where you're just so proud of it? Like, wow, that was a master plan right there. You get something? Just world class where you're like, wow.
On me or
I mean, it could be either one, or both. Both probably.
I got a good one. Okay, so we had a prank war against one of my tiller, which is not advisable.
Yeah.
So
can imagine
it started with one of our older bosses, who was a fireman, was at the house, and Bob Milky was just great.
Mm-hmm.
He was nuts. When he left his firehouse to come to 12, he bought a box of crickets and released them in the firehouse. Live crickets. So his nickname was Cricket. And you would go to the firehouse on a detail, and as soon as the lights go out, you would hear that. It was like,
all going.
They're everywhere. And you'd hear people like with the vacuum cleaners in the middle of the night sucking them up, and they multiply and they're just all over the firehouse. They finally had to call an exterminator in to get rid of the crickets there.
Where do you even buy a box of crickets?
At the pet store. It's what you feed fucking reptiles with.
Oh
yeah, we looked it up. So when he left us, when he retired, this is how fucking masterful he was. So not everyone works the same days, and you go through a rotating crew. There's a solid group that stays, like 4 people that work almost every day, but he took shoe polish. He went ahead in the calendar, because you can look on the computer, and he got the whole crew that was working together, and he put black shoe polish on the inside of your visor, your helmet. And he did it, and it was like weeks afterwards. Like, he was fucking magical about it. And so, like, some guys were on vacation, so they never put him on. And so we're all sitting there, and everybody takes off their helmet after the drill, and everyone's got black shit on their face. And I'm like, motherfucking, he was masterful. Mine was, I picked a fight with Mike Wong. It started out against Uncle Mike Marks.
Mm-hmm.
We took his the late great Manny. So Mike only had one uniform, which I had like 10 by the time I retired. He has one in his locker. So Manny bought this put it in the shirt, and you go click, and then it would sew the button on,
Mm-hmm.
So Manny took Michael Marks' shirts and he removed all the buttons, and it was a blue shirt, uniform shirt with white buttons, and then he relocated all the buttons, so they were all fucking
all over the.
It started with that, and then we would turn his badge upside down on his shirt,
mm-hmm.
and he'd see how long it would take before he noticed, and it was days before. And then he lost his shit. We took his pants, and I took them to the cleaners, and I was like, I need these hemmed up. And the guy's like, he goes, do you want to try them on? I'm all, nope. He goes, how much do you want me to hem them? And I'm all, that much. And he goes, and he looks at me and he goes, these aren't your pants. And I'm all, nope. And so we got him, and we're sitting in the locker room waiting for Mike to get dressed. I'm sitting in a chair, my coffee, and he puts his pants on, and they're right below the knees. And he's being detailed out that day to another firehouse, and he's got capris on now, and he is fucking. And we didn't just have the guy like, tuck him under and do the whole. We cut him, and he hemmed a new seam on. So there was no more fixing those pants. So he's like, so Mike's just fucking furious, and it was like, so then it went into Mike Wong. And I had taken Mike Wong. So we had these downstairs. We had old wooden lockers. They were from the 50s. And you kept your coat and your helmet in there and your boots up on top. And they all opened up the same way, except for the two that came together, they opened opposite.
Mm-hmm.
So I took the door off of that one and put it on his locker and moved that one all the way down. So when we went to open up the door, it wouldn't open because you had to open it from the other side. So it started with that, and then he's like, what the fuck? And then I got magical. I put hinges on the bottom and a spring. So when he went to open it, the whole door came down like an ironing board.
Oh
And came
my
down
God.
and then went back up.
That's pretty good. I'll give you that one.
So that went on for a while. I filled this locker with kitty litter once, like all the way full, like with kitty litter. I took all his shit out first. And then I filled the whole thing with kitty litter. I mean, it was like packed. So he opened up the door and it went everywhere. So I was getting off that morning. We were all working together. And my bed is kitty corner to the front, to the door to go downstairs. And it always made this noise, like the door. You could hear when somebody came in. It wasn't a quiet door, two big steel doors. And I sleep, lights don't bother me, sound does. So if I hear a click or anything like that, I'm up. So I go to bed, wake up the next morning, like no runs or nothing. Woke up the next morning, I'm getting my coffee, and I'm like, oh, I gotta go home. You know, you guys were coming back from school or whatever was going on. And I got to my car, which is in the out bay, and it's up on blocks, all four of them, no tires on it. And I'm like, holy shit. Like, how the fuck did he do this? By himself. And then we had a night watch guy.
Tires
took all four tires up and jacked them up and put blocks on. So it's like, it was the Ford Flex. So it's like, it's not a light car. And it's sitting there and I'm looking at it and I'm like, oh my God, this is fucking magical. And then the best part about it is I didn't hear him come down at all.
Yeah.
And then the fucking night watchman, who is 16 feet away from him sleeping, never heard a goddamn thing either. And you had to at some point drop something metal on the floor or something.
Yeah.
Nope, no one heard a
Perfect
fucking thing.
operation.
And I have a picture. I do have a picture of it, like up on all four blocks. I was like, never again will I fuck with you. And he walked by on his way. And he's like, he goes, are we good from here on out? And I was like, fuck yeah, we are. I go, I will never fuck with you again. But the best part about it is as he drove away, he had like a Lexus SUV or something.
Yeah.
Like not a small one. And when he drove away, this cardboard box fell down on the tailgate, and it's all honk if you love the gay Olympics or support gay Olympics or something like that. And he drove away. He's like, he got all the way to San Bruno with that on the back of his car, and he was like, oh, fuck you.
That's hilarious, though.
Yeah, there's been some good ones. Joe Barbero.
I remember Mike Marks getting all upset a couple times, and when he gets mad, he's so funny.
He tied the Coke can to the bottom of the car, so it rattled. And Mike was like, he had bought that car, and he was so proud of it, and it fucking rattled. He kept taking it to the dealer, and there's nothing wrong with it. And finally, some guy reaches under the wheel well, and there's a fucking Coke can in there. And it went on for months, Oh,
poor guy. I remember when you guys would fuck with him, and I distinctively remember, I forgot where we were at, but he got mad or something. Maybe it was at the house, and he's so funny when he gets upset, because it's like...
Oh, dude, it's fucking class. I mean, the wedding... Oh, we shouldn't tell these stories, but they're good. The wedding story, when I'm out, I was having a cigarette. I did quit smoking, so we're good. But when I was smoking, the woman that was running our wedding comes running up, and she's like, hey, there's this old guy that fell on the dance floor. And I'm like, fuck. And I'm like, 20 minutes earlier, they're dragging Tim and Danny and Mike are dragging Gigi Joe out of the wedding.
Yeah.
And he is fucking wasted. And it's a wedding, yes, do it.
Yeah.
You're in your 80s, go right ahead, and it's the greatest party ever. And they're like carrying him to the car. And now somebody goes down to I'm like, oh shit. So I go running over there. I'm thinking maybe it's my dad or somebody else. And I look over and there's Marks. like fucking towel on his head, cracked his head open. And I'm like, what the fuck? And he goes, I dropped my sunglasses. I went down to get them and I never got back up. And I was like, what the fuck?
It's nighttime too, by the way.
Yeah. And
So
yeah. And he gets mad when we tell those stories. Like,
yeah.
he's like, oh, why do you tell people those stories? No one knows you, Mike. So don't worry about it.
Poor guy. I think he's getting pretty popular in Japan right now. Could be a celebrity.
He's back.
Is he?
He's back from, I texted him yesterday because I hadn't heard from him in a month.
Yeah.
You know, like nothing. And so his stepfather passed.
Oh.
So I think he's kind of dealing with his mom.
Yeah.
I don't think, we know how it is. So I'm like, all right. He said he'll call me later on this week. And
yeah, you got to try to drag him into this. That'd be so much fun.
No.
No?
Because you know why? Because he can't. Everyone that we would drag in here, and we need to start doing that soon. Everyone we would drag in here can make fun of themselves. Something they did in their career or something like that. He cannot. And do you know why he cannot?
Why?
Because he is the worst fireman of
all time. Dad, what if he's a fan of the podcast and you just crush his dreams of...
I've said it to his face. He was the worst fireman. I used to tiller him. He was my, in the back in the tiller.
Yeah.
We're classmates. Like we came in together and we would start like the day checking out the rig. So we'd get in the rig and he would go, I want you not to yell at me today. And I'm like, I want you to be where I want you to be. Like when you make a turn with that truck and I look in the mirror on my left side, I should see you, not look back and you're not there. You're way the fuck over here. It's not because you didn't turn no.
That's poor guy. All right, Pops. I do got to wrap it up and skedaddle. That was a perfect hour and 8 minutes of pure joy for me.
I love it.
And thank you so much, Papa.
No worries. This will be an easier. Oh my God. What was I saying? Now this one's easy. You don't even have to edit this one.
I know.
Just send it out.
I'll have to clip it though. So I'll spend some time afternoon before work.
All right.
Clip it.
Thank you all for all 6 of you that watched this. Also, right there is subscribe.
Oh yeah.
And put the notifications on, then you know when we do it. Every week we try and do this every Friday. We try and get them out during the week. And we do it. But thank everyone for that. And thank you, Mr. Jack Frank.
Oh yeah, of course, Paul. Thank you for all your good stories. I love them so much. And think about it. I will say this is the last thing. It's as much as this is so cool. It's like we're kind of the first humans to get our hands on this type of, I sound like a retard right now, but literally like the ability to put stories online. And you think about Cooper and his kids and generations will have access to the internet.
Yeah.
Exactly. So it's kind of like it in the future, it'll be looked at as like, this is the first generation of the internet and very special stuff. Super fun. I love it so much. All right, Pops. I love you so much. I'll talk to you soon. All right.
Love you. Bye.
Bye.